My Best Friends Live in the Woods. The Adventures of Albert by Anne Michelle Mracek. Chapter 27. Names. The winds of time blow and turn the pages of the book of our life story. It feels like a new chapter is beginning. Mother Skunk was seated across from Mother Deer in the kitchen, and as she talked, a tear welled up in her eyes. I feel the same way, Mother Deer nodded in agreement. It's all a bit overwhelming. I guess I always knew this chapter would come, but now that I'm living it, somehow it feels very dreamlike, Mother Deer added. We are both feeling the winds of time, Mother Skunk agreed. My children are growing up, and soon Bluebell will be married and gone. I was always so busy taking care of the little ones, I never gave it a thought that it would change, Mother Skunk said in a serious tone. Bluebell has a boyfriend? Mother Deer leaned in. When did this happen? They met at the lantern walk, but I just found out last night. Mother Skunk sighed. I don't know what I will do without her. Mother Deer nodded in agreement. She has always been your right hand. You know, you do have 23 other children, and as you said, they are getting older. Perhaps it's time to teach the others how to do all the things Bluebell has always been responsible for. Mother Deer was truly worried about her friend. She had never seen Mother Skunk so solemn. The two sat in silence a moment and sipped their mint tea. Yes, of course, you are right. Mother Skunk was deep in thought. The problem is, I don't know where to start. Bluebell and I have been a team for so long that things just happen by habit, Mother Skunk explained as she fidgeted with the ribbon of her apron. Well, maybe that is where Bluebell can help. Every time she starts on a task, she could choose a sibling to join her. That way, she could teach the others to pitch in and learn what it takes to run the household. It's time they learned. They are not babies anymore. Mother Deer was proud of her idea and hoped it would be helpful. Mother Skunk's mood brightened. Yes, of course, that is perfect. Melanie, Debbie, Teresa, Abigail, Rosie, Marigold, they're all old enough to pitch in. Violet and Jewel are still maybe too small. Mother Skunk was already thinking how to best implement Mother Deer's idea. See there, things are not so bleak after all. Mother Deer smiled. What about Larissa? Mother Deer asked. Oh, well, maybe. She's such a daydreamer. Mother Skunk sighed as she stood up and went for the teapot. As she refilled their cup, she said, But enough about my problems. What I really want to know is, how are you doing? What is it like to be queen? Mother Skunk placed the tea kettle back on its hook by the fire and walked back over to the kitchen, sitting down once again across from her friend. It had been such a whirlwind of events that this was the first time they'd been able to spend time alone and catch up. Well, Mother Deer's eyes began to sparkle and a slow grin began to spread across her face. She even blushed. Well, indeed, Mother Skunk giggled. It is wonderful to be a family, Mother Deer began. There is much to be thankful for and much to get used to. Let's start with thankful, Mother Skunk smiled. I'm thank you for Matthew. He is so kind and thoughtful and a wonderful husband and father, she gushed. Mother Skunk laughed. Now you sound just like Bluebell. Ain't love grand? She teased. Well, yes, it is. Mother Deer sparkled. It's lovely to be surrounded by the ones you love. You always had so many children to be occupied with, but I have spent a great deal of time alone. This is a lovely change, but also I'm finding it difficult to get used to. Especially Owl. He is always trying to butt into every conversation. Mother Deer was now venting some of her frustrations her new life was presenting. Mother Skunk sat and thought for a moment, then offered, "You know, Owl was the only companion of the prince for a long time. He was used to having his undivided attention. Suddenly, he is not the center of attention, and he is not used to sharing. Perhaps you and Owl should have a talk before feathers get too ruffled. Perhaps a new routine should be agreed upon as to when it is appropriate for him to be present and when it is family time." Yes, that's it. We are in a tug of war for attention. Poor Matthew. He must feel like he's being pressured on all sides. Mother Deer was truly thankful for this insight. "Mother Skunk, you are wise," she said with admiration. "Thank you," Mother Skunk smiled. "So you call him Matthew?" she teased. "Well, yes, I certainly don't call him Your Highness," Mother Deer laughed. "One of the privileges of being the queen," Mother Skunk smiled. Just then, Abigail, Rosie, Marigold, and Layla came bounding in the front door, a whirlwind of noisy chatter and motion. Mother Skunk laughed. "Oh, we forgot Layla." She leaned over and whispered to Mother Deer, "I don't know how you keep track of them all. I have enough with just Anthena." Mother Deer laughed back. "I'm hungry," Abigail whined. "What's for lunch?" Marigold started trotting toward the hearth. "I'll leave it to you." Mother Deer stood up to go. "Wonderful to visit," she said as she moved toward the door. Then she paused and turned. "We should be on a first-name basis. No more formal Mother Deer and Mother Skunk. I consider you my best friend. Please, call me Clarissa." She looked straight into Mother Skunk's eyes. "Oh, I don't know. After all, you are the queen," Mother Skunk stammered, suddenly a bit nervous. "That we will leave for the rest of the forest. For you only. It is Clarissa," she insisted. "I could make it a command," she teased, a sparkle in her eyes. "Very well, then. Thank you for the visit, Clarissa," Mother Skunk replied, then added, "You can call me Matilda." A huge smile lit up on their faces as Mother Deer, Clarissa, stepped out the front door. As Mother Skunk closed the door, she smiled and thought, "So, it's Clarissa." As Mother Deer walked toward the glen, she smiled and thought, "So, it's Matilda." "I want lunch!" Rosie bounded up to Mother Skunk, who was still standing near the closed front door. "Oh, you do?" Mother Skunk laughed. "Where's Bluebell?" Marigold asked, looking about. "Bluebell is out." Mother smiled, her secret safe. "It's high time you girls start making your own lunch. You are not babies anymore," Mother Skunk said, pretending to be stern. "Do you know why Bluebell and I always carry a basket when we go out?" she asked the four girls. They looked at each other with blank expressions. "It's to gather herbs and leaves and seeds we happen upon to bring home for meals. Did any of you bring home something for lunch?" she asked. They all looked at the floor and shook their heads. "Well, let's all grab a basket and go out and gather lunch," Mother Skunk said in a cheery tone. Mother Skunk began handing each girl a basket from the pile that was kept to the left of the front door. Suddenly, the front door burst open, almost knocking Mother Skunk over. "We're home!" A loud call came from Melanie, George, Henry, Ricky, and Teresa as they bounded in. "Another 5 heard from," Mother laughed. "We're going out to gather lunch," Rosie announced. "That's right, and you 5 will join us," Mother Skunk said as she handed them baskets. "Now, out we go!" She led the way out the door and up the hillside. "What are we looking for, Mama?" Ricky asked, scampering up to walk beside her. "Anything we can find," Mother Skunk smiled. "The forest will provide." Then she stopped and pointed to the right. "Look there," she instructed, "under the linden tree in the shade." "You mean the hosta?" Ricky asked. "Yes, of course," Mother Skunk smiled. "Gather the new, smaller leaves. We can eat them raw in salad or steam them. They are in the same family as asparagus and taste similar," she explained. All the children rushed over to explore and pick the new hosta leaves, putting them in their baskets. "Now let's head to more sunny spots and look for flowers," Mother Skunk led on. There were many smaller glens in the forest where the flowers drank in the energy of the sun and dazzled the forest with color and perfume. The daylilies were 5-petaled stars of brilliant orange. "Oh, wonderful!" Mother clapped her hands. "My favorite! Pick all the blossoms that are fully open," she instructed. "Each bloom will last 1 day. More will open tomorrow." As the children scampered about picking blossoms, Mother Skunk watched with a smile. "This is good," she thought. "Pick a few leaves too," Mother Skunk called out. "They're good for stir-fry." "How do we use the flowers?" Layla asked. "Oh my, so many ways. We can eat them raw in a salad. We can dry them and grind them for flour. But my favorite is to stuff them with cooked grains and veggies and fry them in oil. So delicious." As baskets filled, Mother Skunk became aware of her own hungry tummy. "Okay, everyone, back home to fix lunch," she called out. The kitchen was full of smiles and lively chatter as the children worked in groups to prepare lunch and get bowls out. It was discovered the water bucket was empty, and George and Henry and Ricky took it down to the stream to fill. Mother had Teresa, Rosie, and Abigail making salad. Debbie, Violet, and Jewel had come in and were assigned bowl washing and drying so they could be reused for lunch. Marigold, Layla, and Melanie were getting instructions from Mother Skunk as they stuffed the daylily flowers and dropped them in the sizzling skillet. The aroma filled the cave with delicious promise. Soon, George and Henry came trotting in a full bucket of spring water, while Ricky ran about playing tag with Charlie, Jack, and Timothy, who they had bumped into down by the stream. Then Albert, Frank, Nicholas, Daniel, and Andrew came trotting in from a game of hit the stick. "Well, that's everyone except Molly, Jillian, and Bluebell." Mother Skunk smiled to herself. "Molly and Jillian are probably in the Great Glen, and I know Bluebell is with Benjamin," she thought. As they filled their bowls with salad and fried daylily flowers, Mother Skunk sighed a long, deep sigh. "Is everything okay?" Albert asked, noticing her thoughtful mood. "Yes, dear. Everything is just as it should be," she smiled back at him. Mother clapped for silence. "From now on, we will all be pitching in to do the gathering and cooking and cleaning. You are all going to learn and help as a team. Each morning and each evening, we will have a family meeting to discuss the plan for the day. No more running off to play without a thought in your heads. I can no longer take care of all of you by myself. and it's time you all learned how to run a household. Mother Skunk stood to carry her bowl to the sink. I'll get that, Timothy offered and took her bowl. Thank you, Mother smiled. Sure, we will all pitch in, Marigold said excitedly. Today was really fun, she added, and they all nodded in agreement. Good, so it's settled. Mother was pleased. You know, it occurred to me that you all might not know my name, Mother said, smiling at her children. Charlie started to laugh. Of course we do. It's Mama, he giggled. Everyone laughed. When I was little, I was named Matilda, after my mother's best friend. Everyone called her Tita for short, but Mother preferred the proper Matilda. So, now you know, she said, soothing her hands on her apron. But we can still call you Mother, right? Abigail asked. Yes, of course. I would have it no other way. Now I am Mother Skunk. But as a little one, it was Matilda. I just wanted you to know, Mother Skunk said in a kind of far-off way, her mind remembering long ago days of her own childhood. Chapter 27. Names. Discussion and questions. Perspective. Every life has seasons of change. A career change, a move to a new home, a wedding or graduation, all stand out as milestones in our lives. Question 1. What are the events in your life that marked changes and new beginnings? Mother Skunk was sadly focused on Bluebell's leaving. Mother Deer helped her change her perspective and suggested a plan of action for making a smooth transition. Question 2. What positive attitude change can help you to a plan of action that improves your life? Question 3. Is there someone you can talk to that can help you evaluate your circumstances and effect positive change? Mother Deer found herself in conflict with Owl. It was Mother Skunk's ability to see the situation with compassion from Owl's perspective that shone light on a solution. Question 4. Do you try to stand back and see situations from another person's perspective? Question 5. How can having compassion and understanding for others help to resolve our conflicts? I am the composer and performer for all the music in this video. Both audio recordings and the printed scores are available on mybestfriendsliveinthe.woods.com. I will provide the link below. The painted illustrations are also my creation. Prints are available on mybestfriendsliveinthe.woods.com. This is a novel. The chapters are meant to be heard in the order in which they were written. And while each chapter can stand alone, they do build as new characters are introduced and past events are referred to. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. The chapters are numbered, so if you're just joining us, be sure to go back and watch from chapter 1. In a dream, in a trance, my spirit flies to the pink horizon of the forest, where fairies say, come and play, and the animals say, there's a